Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
Welcome to the show, gang. This is the Safety Consultant Show, Sheldon Primus. I'm your host. And in this podcast, I teach you about OSHA compliance, how to become the safety consultant for your business, teach you about safety consulting as a whole, and literally the business behind safety consulting. How y'all doing? Been doing a bunch of classwork. I'm back in the States. Been doing a bunch, right? So I'm actually happy to get back to doing a podcast regularly in my home studio, which is actually in my RV. As you guys know, I'm a full-time RVer. For those of you that have been listening for a while, for those of you that are new, that's my gig. I travel quite a bit, actually. So today, though, I do actually want to talk to you guys about the U.S. OSHA again, because with the new election, there's a lot of stuff going on in the U.S. This one is actually going to branch out from the U.S. OSHA, and I just want to mention, just keep an eye on the U.S. regulations. And one of the things that just happened, like this week, which is, as the recording right now is, February 20th. And the 18th of February, President Trump did an executive order. This executive order did include that any independent agency of the U.S., and I'm going to independent regulatory agencies, meaning making regulations, basically has to run their new regulations through the system. And the system would be President Trump and the Attorney General. So those two people are going to be those two people that we really want to make sure, according to this this memo, that it has to, in the draft form, these draft regulations has to go through that department, the executive branch in the U.S. So right now it's an executive order being signed. It doesn't mean like it's complete. However, it does mean that it has to be addressed, just for you guys to know what the ramification is, because later on, if it is going to be approved or let's say protected by the court system, then that means truly that you guys are going to need to know what to look for in the U.S. So for those of you outside the U.S., this conversation here is going to help you understand some of the nuances to why some things with the U.S., you're kind of wondering, hey, how come U.S. isn't on this thing? We've been doing this for a while. There are some nuances related to our agencies, and this happens to be a new one for us. So we, in the past, have a whole system of how laws are made, regulations are made. There's advisory committees. There's a whole bunch of stakeholders that get involved. After that process, and there's a draft of the presentation, draft of the regulation, this is where this new executive order will kick in. So this executive order has to be signed. It has to be okayed, again, by the judicial. No, actually not judicial, I should tell you. It has to be okayed by the executive branch. I got my branches all mixed up. So the executive branch is on top of this. All right. So first, let me tell you the independent agencies, so you guys are going to be aware. Not everyone is going to have this kind of interaction with some of these independent agencies, but just in case, I want to let you guys know. African Development Foundation, CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, Commodities Future Trading Commissions, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Consumer Protection Safety Commission, Defense Nuclear Facility Safety Board, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Export-Import Bank of the U.S., Farm Credit Administration, Federal Communication Commission, Federal Deposit Insurance Corp., Federal Election Commissions, Federal Housing Financial Agencies, Federal Labor Relations Authority, Federal Maritime Commission, and we actually have, I'm only in the F's, we got a bunch more. Federal Mine Safety and Health Review Commission, Federal Mediation and Conciliation Services, the Federal Reserve System, the Federal Trade Commission, General Service Administration, Inter-American Foundation, Merit System Protection Board, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which is NASA. I literally have never said NASA all the way out. So now I see NASA, so I am going to put that in there. National I can't even say it. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. So that is NASA. National Archives and Records Administration, National Council on Disabilities, National Credit Union Administration, National Endowments of the Arts, National Indian Gaming Commission, National Labor Relations Board, National Mediation, National Railroad Passenger, National Science Foundation. And just as an aside, I'm doing this for a reason, because as I read all these out, I'm going to do a transcript. So if you forget, you could actually see the transcript on this and be able to go ahead and see which list is affecting you and your company. All right, so we're still in the ends. National Transportation Safety Board, Nuclear Regulatory Commission, Nuclear Waste Technical Review Board, Occupational Safety and Health Review Commission. So that's the OSHA connection, the people that help OSHA with their rules. The Office of Governmental Ethics, the Office of Personnel Management, the Office of Special Counsel, Peace Corps, Pension Benefits, Gratuity Corporation, Postal Regulation Commission, Railroad Retirement Board, SEC, which is Security and Exchange Commission, Selected Service Board, Small Business Association, Smithsonian Institute, Social Security Advisory Board, Taxpayer Advocacy Panel, Tennessee Valley Authority. Whew, they threw that in. So the TVA's in there. I didn't know that. U.S. Agency for International Development, that's USAID, which has gotten a lot of news right now in the U.S. U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, U.S. International Trade Commission, U.S. Postal Service, and the U.S. Trade Development Agencies. So that is the agencies that are going to be affected by this. This is coming from the University of Pittsburgh Library System. So I, again, named all that stuff just to let you guys know who's going to be affected. So here's what I'm thinking about this. And again, it's too early for us to really give too many, I don't know. I don't want to have too much hyperbole, if that's the way you say that word. You know how I botch words, right? Hyperbole. I don't want too much hyperbole. I want to make sure I'm telling you guys the right thing, right? So as someone who's an influencer, someone who's out there to keep you guys ahead of the news cycle, I would just do a Google alert just for any changes in any of those administrations I mentioned to you that mean something to your organization or to your business. Just so you could be ahead of the game. When you find out news, you put this in your newsletter, you put this in your LinkedIn post, stuff like that, to keep you relevant with your clients. So now they come to you for a trusted source on news, current, and also EH&S news. So it makes you a little bit more valuable. This is where you could start your email list and stuff like that. So when you're not servicing a client, you're still on top of their mind. So when they need safety, you're the guy to call, right? So that's the idea of letting you guys know what's happening here. So in turn, you're going to use this for your business. What the interpretation is right now is, honestly, we don't know yet. This stuff has to be challenged in court like always. And if the court challenges come back, it's going to start first at lower courts, and it's going to go into some of the higher courts until it makes its way to the Supreme Court. This has never been done before, so I know it's going to be challenged. So now when you see it start going through the courts, the lower courts are probably going to be one of the ones that will show some resistance to a change like this. So you'll have to see after it goes through the district and the Supreme Court what stands. But for now, if there isn't a stay on this, then agencies are going to start acting as if everything's okay, and they're going to make these draft proposals and then send it to the executive branch, the White House, and the Attorney General. So just keep an eye out on that one, okay? Nothing to panic yet, or anything that's going to really be in concrete yet, but it's trending that way, all right? We're not at the destination, but the map has been drawn. People are starting to get the keys to the car, and they're about to get into the car and start it up. That's where we are in this process. We're not there yet, but actions are being made towards this step. All right, so I need you guys just to keep a head on the swivel with some news. I know most of us don't want to keep up with news. I'm going to do my best to help you guys out with these short episodes. But honestly, if you're in the U.S. and you are servicing U.S. companies, you really need to get yourself some grow bigger ears. And this is how you grow bigger ears, so you don't miss something and you hear things as they come up. I'm going to help you out. But then also keep an eye out on your local news too. That's going to be a big difference for all of us, all right? So with that, you guys got some information? Go get them. Oh, hold on. Now I got to say, go get them.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
Are you ready to turn your passion for safety into a profitable business venture? Look no further. Sheldon Primus, host of the acclaimed podcast Safety Consultant with Sheldon Primus, invites you to an exclusive online workshop designed to kickstart your journey as a safety consultant. Learn the ins and outs of starting and growing your safety consulting business in our comprehensive 4-hour workshop. This isn't your typical webinar where you passively listen to a presentation. In the first 30 minutes, you'll dive straight into action, working on your business and laying the groundwork for your future success. Learn how to gain clients, promote your business, and partner with others serving your ideal client. Don't miss this opportunity to build a solid foundation for your safety consulting business. This workshop is 100% online and will be held July 13, 2024. Spaces are limited, so reserve your spot now to ensure you don't miss out on this transformative workshop. Register at primus.training. Again, primus.training.